Hi there, I'm Brian Vogt with RE/MAX Preferred. I'm here with Mayor Mueller of Swansea, who's the mayor of Swansea. And first off, I want to welcome you to Scott Air Force Base. You're PCS'ing in, and I know you're going to love the area. It's got some great features to it. And one of the things we wanted to kind of talk about was just that. If you're moving in the military, Swansea is someplace you want to check out. And I'm here with Mayor Mueller, and maybe you can give us some insights, because earlier we were talking, and there were some things I had no idea about, and maybe some insights of why the military is such a welcome place for Swansea.
Right. Well, one of the neat things, and by the way, I have spent a lot of time at Scott Air Force Base, and I know when people PCS in, you know, we have newcomer orientation things and newcomer packets that we send out. And so I remember out at the base, a lot of the people already know about the schools, and they request certain schools. And so we have two of those actually in Swansea that our people can attend. We also have the kids go to about 7 different schools. So we have housing in all these different areas, and it depends on what what kind of range they're looking at for homes and things like that. But Wolf Branch School, for instance, is one of the #1 schools on the list, and also O'Fallon. And despite the fact that we're in Swansea, we have a subdivision that goes to O'Fallon schools. And so that subdivision actually is a pretty busy one right now.
Sure.
And they're building a lot of homes. And I've been told we have close to 60% either retired or active duty or guard or reserve military living here now. And I think you'll find anybody that's around the base, we're all pretty much in kind of the same boat. We have good relations with the base. We welcome the military. I have 3 of us on the board here that are retired Air Force. I have a clerk that is a spouse of a retired pilot. I have some Air Force folks on our park board and things like that. If you drive around in Swansea, you'll see a lot of flags flying. You'll even see some Army flags. So we're pretty diverse. We have, like I say, we do a lot of things. We have cell phones for soldiers that we collect out here. We've collected over 1,500 of them, I think, so far. We do a couple things too when a military person comes in, and we try to find out if they're in the military, and they come for a building permit of sorts. But we note on that permit, we note that they're military. So, for instance, if they deploy and they didn't finish that job, this building permit stays effective. So we found out that one time we had, ended a permit and the person was actually deployed. Also, what happens here, you'll find neighbors helping neighbors. We had a couple incidents where, a lady was really having a hard time getting grass cut and things like that. And I have some experience at that. When I went to Japan, I showed my wife how to use the mower and all that. When I came back, it looked like I had a field instead of a yard. But neighbors pitched in and kind of helped this particular person because they found out they were deployed. But we have, for instance, on Memorial Day coming up, the 126 Air Guard provides us the post of colors with us. And like I said, in the subdivision I live, for instance, probably 90% of the people are either retired military or active duty military.
Wow.
So we're very close to, obviously, St. Louis. We have a Metrolink right here in town that's very accessible, and so we're...
Well, that's impressive. I mean, and I think some of the things that just to highlight and to kind of wrap this up, the great information. I think what you're hearing is that you have a friendly, basically mayor. He's a past veteran, but just a friendly place to go if you're going to be PCSing into Swansea. The schools, 7 schools, high schools. It's really a diverse population, and I love what you said too. Is the community source, that you're big enough to handle your needs, but small enough to understand that if somebody's in need, and especially in the military, there's a friend to help them. Thank you so much, Mayor. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
And thank you so much for joining us. Welcome, Scott, and thank you so much for your service.